First of all, thank you for allowing me to speak on this as part of a representative of the industry that's out there. We're happy to partner with Western Tech and do internships. And I think that some of the things that the graduates need to realize in other dealerships is that it is a frustrating situation that we're in, right? Students who graduate need to understand that when you're coming out in the workforce and you're getting paid 3, 4, 5 times what minimum wage is, your employer is going to expect you to work. That means you may have to work on the weekends. That means that you may have to work past that 8 hours. We figure that since we are paying you more than competitive wages, is that we're going to get a return on our investment. So when you're in the school environment, the timing is very specific. You know what time your classes are going to be. You know what time they're going to end. You don't have to stay over. You have all the correct tools. The facility is absolutely beautiful. The faults that are with the equipment are predestinated or predetermined, I should say, predetermined. So as you're walking through there, it's easy for somebody to say, hey, no, you skip this step. But when you get out into the field and you come to the dealership, we are taking the customer's word that this is what's wrong with it. But there are several layers that we're dealing with when we're in the dealership. One, that customer is paying by the hour. So what we expect is that you have the skills required to be able to correctly diagnose their piece of equipment the first time, which means that you have to ask questions if you don't know. You have to get into the manufacturer's manuals, or sometimes, like with us, we have a help desk specifically for our technicians, so you can get in there. You don't have the advantage of saying you can't figure it out and just moving on to the next piece of equipment. Our reputation is based on our ability to be able to fix our customers' equipment and fix it in a timely manner and within the cost, the quote that we gave them in the beginning. So for students that are coming into the workplace, there are several things that I would advise you. One, ask lots of questions. If you do not understand, it doesn't matter for the other students. Don't worry about your instructor saying, hey, you need to keep up. Ask questions. Even if it's not during class, go back after and ask that instructor or bring to their attention that you didn't understand something. That's the environment to do it in, right? Because when we hire you on, we're expecting that you have some basic knowledge on it, right? The other one is to understand that for a place like this where we're starting you off at $30 an hour, we expect you to work during that 8-hour shift. We don't pay for smoke breaks. We don't pay for, hey, I just need a moment. We don't pay for those because ultimately your time is being paid for by the customer. So we expect you to be on time. We expect you to be there on your scheduled days, and we expect you to work the full shift. In some cases, if we've promised a customer that we'll get their equipment back to them in a certain amount of time, then it might require you to stay after that normal shift, that normal scheduled shift. And you need to be willing to do it because without our customers, we don't exist, right? The other thing is that when you come to work, to understand that we are your employee. We are your employer. We're not your friend. You are coming and you are hired because we have problems, right? We hire techs because we have problems or we're growing our business. So when you come in, that's what we expect. We recently had a technician who was working on a piece of equipment. It required some grinding. He was doing it for about 2 hours. The next day he called out saying that his arms were sore. I want to be real with you. That is a part of the job, right? That you're in a safe environment. We're going to make sure that you have the right equipment, but sometimes you're going to get sore at your job. Sometimes you're going to be tired, but it is the place that employs you, and we are paying you for what you're doing, right? We're compensating you for your job, and our standards are high. Our expectations are even higher. In return, we give you health insurance. We're giving you that hour wage. And I like to say here, we give you that cohesive environment. We like to think of you as more than just a number. But again, I want to stress, we're not your friends, right? We have a mutual reason for being here. I would like to say that when you get to the job, if we're responsible enough to take breaks when we want to. Unfortunately, that's not the case at all. We're required to give you 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch. That's the requirement. Unfortunately, sometimes my field techs, you can't take lunch right at 12 o'clock. If you're on site and you're working, and we have a timeline on when we need to get that job done, sometimes you have to wait until after you complete the job to be able to have lunch. These are things that no curriculum can teach you because every job site's different, right? The responsibility of the school is to teach you the fundamentals of being the technician, right? When you get to the workplace, we're gonna take those fundamentals and we're gonna grow off of those, but you also have the reality of life. I would love to say that every piece of equipment that comes in or every job that happens goes as planned, but sometimes it doesn't. So you have to be flexible. You have to be real flexible when you get out into your job site. And just know that, especially in our economy now, you're replaceable. You are. If you're unable to do your job, we are required as a business to find somebody who can. And I don't want people to feel insecure like, hey, we have high turnover rates, we don't work with you. It's not like that at all. But we can't advocate for you if you're not advocating for yourself. I understand that sometimes things happen. Communication is the best key. There's no such thing as over communication. So I'll do that with competency. If you don't understand something, say something. If you're inexperienced with something, say something. If you have a problem, say something. But on that same token, be prepared for the answer that you get. It may not be the answer that you want, but be prepared for that answer that you get, because we all have different responsibilities in the workplace. I enjoy my job. I want to make sure that my techs enjoy their job. I want to make sure that my sales reps enjoy their job. So we kind of are a family here. That's the way I like to think of it. I make sure that my team can always come and approach me with anything, but they already know that the answer might not be yes. It might be not yet, or it might be no, and this is why. And sometimes it's just a no, right? And once you have that trust established, then with my team, they understand when it's just a hard no, that there's a reason for me giving that hard no, and to leave it at that. So when we're hiring, some of the attributes that I look for. One, I'm a believer in I can teach you certain things, but motivation is internal. So you can be inspired by somebody else, but I can't motivate you to get up and come to work every day. I can't motivate you to do the best that you can every day. So when we're looking for new employees, motivation is very important to us. The next one is a sense of pride, right? Because the employee who just doesn't, they have pride with the work that they do, means that we're going to have equipment that goes with missing bolts out the door, and they don't care that this piece of equipment carries our brand name, let alone their name. So having pride in what you do is very important also. I would say the third attribute is an open mind. I think the open mind helps you get through the, hey, I got to work late, or hey, I got to work on the weekend, or hey, just because the last 4 pieces of equipment, the diagnosis was the same, this one may need a different approach. So for me, the pride, motivation, and an open mind is what can make a great team member here for us at LoneStar. Everything else can be taught. Everything else, you'll learn with time. You don't have to be the most experienced tech. We can teach you that, right? Sometimes it's easier to teach that person with the blank slate than to have to unlearn some bad habits that are out there on there.